Hello. If you are new over here, my name is Shay. Welcome to my channel. I know say yes to the title. I know say yes to the title. That title down there. That one right there. You saw it, and I know that's why you clicked because you're fast. You're fast. So you click on the video because you see the title. Well, guys, we're gonna talk about it. I am pregnant. I am pregnant, and this video is my pregnancy journey video. So I wanted to say though, before I get into it further, this video is going to include, unfortunately, topics about pregnancy loss and stuff like that. And if that is sensitive to anybody, then this might not be the right video for you. I'm sorry. But it might be too much of a trigger for you, so you'd want to click off if that's something that's going to be a little bit sensitive. Okay, into it. So my pregnancy journey, I feel like I've experienced everything that can happen in pregnancy. So number one, miscarriage. Around, I want to say, I don't even remember the year. I want to say around 4 years ago, my first experience with pregnancy was being pregnant, and found out I was pregnant. I got pregnant during a vacation, I believe. My husband came to Jamaica, and we had a little bit too much fun, and then I became pregnant. And that pregnancy, unfortunately, did not last. Around 6 weeks, I, started having pain. I remember the day like really clearly. The day I just started a new job, and I remember I was having cravings for like Wendy's. When I found out I was pregnant, I was having cravings for Wendy's salad, an apple pecan salad. And I remember leaving from work, because I had a hybrid job, so I worked from home some days, and then you went into office on some days. And I left from home and I went to Wendy's to get my apple pecan salad, because I that me a FIFA. So I went and I got an apple pecan salad, and on my way back, I was walking from the main road back to my apartment, and started to feel cramping and all that stuff. I'm like, it felt like period cramps and stuff, and I'm like, And then I noticed that I started to feel a little bit wet down there. So I'm like, is this normal? I don't know. It's my first time being pregnant, so I don't know. So when I got back and I got home and I went to the bathroom and I checked, there was really nothing, but I was still feeling, the pain. So I logged back on for work, and I think I remember that day I had a meeting at the time. The time when me take myself gone was when me gone by apple pecan salad. I had a meeting, and then I came back. That's when I realized that I had a meeting. I was supposed to have a meeting, and I was late, and they were like questioning me where I was and stuff like that. But they didn't know me. I go through miscarriage, but yeah. So I hopped on that meeting, like really quickly. I hopped on that meeting, but while I was in the meeting, I was like, no, I really wasn't feeling well. So I went back to the bathroom, and that is when, the second time I went to the bathroom, that's when I saw that there was blood, but it was not a lot. It was like a little bit of blood, but it was not the color that you would want to see. And I do know some women do have bleeding during pregnancy, but for me, that was like really scary, and I just knew then and there that something was definitely wrong. So I reached out to my OB, and she wrote me a prescription for some pill where you're supposed to insert vaginally. Women go through a lot. Women go through a lot. only for them the picnic come out and look like the father. Yeah, so she she prescribed me a pill, and I, asked for time off from work for the rest of the evening off from work, and I went and I got the pill. And I took the pill, and then like I used the pill, and then like I want to say it was 2 days later. 2 days later, I was still having bleeding, and I saw what looked like liver, like looked like chicken liver, and I knew then and there that yeah, this baby is gone. And I reached out back to her, and I told her. She asked for a picture, and good. She asked if I had any pictures of her taking pictures, and I did take a picture, and I showed it to her, and she was like, unfortunately, this looks like a miscarriage, and she told me to come in. And I went in, she did the ultrasound, and while the woman was doing the ultrasound, the woman was sighing so heavy, and I'm just like lying there, and I'm like, she gonna mask it, she gonna mask it, like, smile and make me think everything. I don't know, that'd be lying, but no, she was like sighing, and then I knew, yeah. And then she told me that it was unfortunately a miscarriage. Okay, so that was my miscarriage. That was my first pregnancy. You're asking, is there more? There is more. Pregnancy number 2. In, I want to say it was March, April, June. I don't even remember. I think it's April, June. I was at home, and I got my period as I usually do. But something was just off about this period. I was feeling symptoms of being pregnant, but I'm like, no, I cannot be pregnant because I am seeing my period, right? So I was, watching it, and then, uncanny enough, I went on TikTok, and there were just this whole lot of videos about cryptic pregnancies, and I was like, I had the urge to take a test. So I took a test, and the something come back positive. So I was like, okay, it's positive, but I am seeing my period. So I went to my primary care doctor, and I told him and everything, and he was like, this was a Friday. This Friday I went to the primary care doctor, and I told him, and he sent me to do some labs on that day, and then I would do a follow-up lab on the next Monday just to see if my HCG levels were rising. And if my HCG levels were rising, that would tell him that, yeah, I am pregnant, and he'd then try to figure out why am I seeing my period and that kind of stuff. So that was a Friday. However, on the Saturday morning, I was in bed, and I felt normal, I felt fine. But when I got up and I got to the bathroom, and I sat on the toilet, and I was getting back up, I felt a pain. I felt a pain. It's like I'm feeling it now. I felt a pain in was it my left? My left side, my left lower abdomen. And I just started to cry out because it was like unimaginable. And my husband ran to the bathroom, and I was like, no, this is not normal. Something's definitely wrong. I have to go to the hospital. And we went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, they had me there on the gurney. They carried me to the emergency room, and they had me there on the gurney. And I was just lying on the gurney crying because I was in so much pain. But at that time on Saturday, my period would have ended. So I was not seeing blood. But I was there, and I was in pain, and a nurse came to me like, she was like, oh my God, you're in so much pain. And I told her I needed to use the bathroom. So she carried me to the bathroom, and I peed, and she said, let me know if you see any blood. And I peed and I wiped, and I saw blood, red blood, like when you get a cut, that first gush of red, dark red blood. That's how it was. And I told her, no, I'm seeing blood. And they had me do an ultrasound. No, first they had to vaginally check to see what was going on. Oh my God. That was more painful than when you're getting, wait, that's something they call a pap smear. That she used her finger, and that was more painful than when you were getting pap smear. And she was like, no, you're not supposed to, there's no way you're supposed to be in so much pain. I'm just checking you with a finger. And they had me go and do an ultrasound, and the lady was taking so long to do the ultrasound, but it was a vaginal ultrasound. And that, oh my God, that was wickeder than the examination I did before that. And she was there, and she was sighing and everything, and then she's like, she will soon be back. So when she left, I was like looking at the screen, and when I looked at the screen, I don't know about ultrasound, no, but I don't know, I looked at the screen, and the way how it looked, I was like, I could see this mass, like this mass was kind of on the outside of the triangular looking box, and I'm like, yep, this is what I think I know what this is. And she came back, and they wheeled me back up to the room that they had me in, and a doctor came in a few minutes later, and she was like, unfortunately, you have an ectopic pregnancy, and we are going to have to do an emergency surgery because your fallopian tube has ruptured. That's why you're seeing the bleeding. So your fallopian tube has ruptured, and that's why you're seeing the bleeding. And we are going to have to do a examination. I don't remember what they call it. I think it's a lapos. I'm not going to even try to attempt to pronounce or say what it was, what kind of surgery it was. But I had to do that surgery, and yeah. So the fallopian tube was ruptured, so they're going to have to remove the baby, because the baby is embedded on the fallopian tube, on the outside of the fallopian tube, and that caused it to rupture. And they're going to have to remove that, but they're going to have to also remove the tube because the tube is ruptured. And so I ended up going into emergency surgery, and they were like, oh, it's going to be so hard. They didn't say it was going to be so hard, but it was going to be like, your chances now of getting pregnant are going to be a little bit lower because you now have one tube, basically. Yeah, so that was pregnancy number 2. My pregnancy journey. And then, surprise, surprise, 2 months later, can't believe I'm showing my ugly belly. But 2 months later, I was here at home, pregnancy number 3. I was here at home, and I didn't get my period yet. My period was not supposed to come yet. And I went to the bathroom, and I wiped, and I saw a lot of the discharge. This video is very TMI. I should have put that in the disclaimer at the front too. This is very TMI video. A lot of discharge, and I was like, But as expected, I was like super, 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 super nervous. I felt like I did myself a little bit of a disservice by getting tested, like taking the pregnancy test so early before missing my period, because I took the test, and of course the test came back positive. Evidence. Of course the test came back positive, but I felt like I was like worried because of miscarriage and then an ectopic pregnancy. I was worrying. I worried. I was like, God, Please. Please make my baby be okay. Please make my baby be okay. I was like really worried. I called the doctor and then I waited until I missed my period. So my period would have come like maybe 3 days. Should have come like maybe 3 days after I took the test, and I waited like until day 4, like the night of the afternoon of day 4, and I called them and I was like, I'm pregnant, and then they scheduled me to come in. But when I went in, all they had me do was pee in a cup, and I was like saying to the lady, is there no way I can do an ultrasound, because I have a history of ectopic pregnancy. My last pregnancy was an ectopic pregnancy, and I am really, really, really nervous. Is there any way that I could do a ultrasound? And she was like, no, but they will see if they can schedule me for. They'll see if they can schedule me for something in another few weeks. So I went and I did the ultrasound, and when I went and I did the ultrasound, they were like, oh, everything is okay, and by the way, the baby is inside, is where he's supposed to be, so you don't need to worry. And that kind of put my mind at ease. So yeah, here we are. Can't really see that well in this blouse because of the black and white, but yeah, there we are, and that sums up my pregnancy journey. And I think this is where I'm going to close out the video. So I will see you guys in the next one. And just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed, just please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And if you feel like you want to share, you can share as well. In my next video, I'll talk about my first trimester symptoms, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.